So what was the season that like being like overworked and underpaid after college?
That was like tunnel vision. That was like you're traveling in the long tunnel. You know what I'm saying? And you just don't know if you're gonna make it out. There was a lot of late nights for sure. You just have to identify it first and foremost. You got to be the go-getter. You have to be the one to put the play together. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be there. You know what I'm saying? You have to do things that others are not willing to do.
So what was it like working with major artists like Usher, Gucci Man, and them good?
Oh man, don't sleep on all your abilities. Don't sleep on your talent. You really got to step up and be the person that you were meant to be.
Welcome back to Conversation with Mr. French. I'm your host, Derek French. My today's guest is an entrepreneur. He is an audio engineer, recording producer who has spent the last 8 years sharpening sounds behind some of the biggest names in the music industry and entertainment, from recording to mixing, mastering, and producing. He has also worked with some of the known artists around, such as Usher, Key Glock, Gucci Man, Young Thug, and many more. My today's guest is Kenechi. Welcome, brother, and introduce yourself.
Thank you. Glad to be here. My name's Kenechi. My real name's Kenechi. You know what I'm saying? Engineer, producer, entrepreneur, visionary. You know.
Well, thank you for stopping by having this conversation with me, brother.
Most definitely.
So, who is Kenechi outside of being an audio engineer?
Someone outside of being an audio engineer, I'm a visionary. I'm someone that's always searching for inspiration, hope to inspire other people. I consider myself a bit of a futurist because a lot of stuff that has been going down lately, I already predicted it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So did you copyright that?
Didn't do it. See, man, it takes a particular kind of foresight and confidence to really copyright a lot of ideas that you think is going to drop in the near future. You know what I'm saying? And I should, but moving forward, I'm gonna for sure do that.
Moving forward,
most definitely.
Yeah, because ain't nothing free in life, right?
Ain't nothing free. Shout out to my boy Free A&F Collective in it. Ain't nothing free.
Nothing free. So, what was your childhood like, and when did you start first when did you first think about becoming an audio engineer?
Well, as a youth, I spent a lot of time in Nigeria. Shout out to everybody that's tapping in. Yes sir, gang in that bit. So I was in Nigeria as a youth, and Nigeria. There's a lot of music is part of the culture in Nigeria, just in general. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Nigerian culture music is instilled in the DNA. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I had a natural gravitation towards music in general. When I was a bit older, all my homies, they used to rap. We all used to make music. We used to pull up and make music together. You know what I'm saying? And I just noticed that a lot of times the quality of what I was doing was always a bit better than everyone else's. You know what I'm saying? So that just shows a natural inclination towards what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But on top of that, I didn't know this until later in life. Because I was into music for a long time, but I didn't tell my folks because I had traditional Nigerian parents, so they don't want to hear none of that music, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I hid it from them for a long time.
So how old were you when you realized, hey, music was your calling?
I was probably, like 11, 12. And I knew this because So I used to have this old school computer. It was even old for the time that we had it. It was one of those big boxy old gray PCs.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one day I found like a small gray device. I didn't know what it was. So I was naturally curious, and I just tried to figure out what it was. And it ended up being a small PC microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So I hooked it up, and I was already interested in music, and this just speaks towards the natural inclination. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess I came from a time where like there was no real software available to the general public.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There was no real resources and none of that. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of figured this out on my own. Mm-hmm. I started using that PC mic and playing beats that I downloaded from like, you know, whatever file sharing service was out at the time, you know, all that mm-hmm. file sharing before streaming was a thing. Mm-hmm. And I started playing the beats, and then we used to record. I used to put the mic in between the source and the music, mm-hmm. the artist and the music, and we would just record it all in one. So I would play the beat from the beginning, and you would have to rap the song all the way through, can't mess up, no overdubs, no retakes. That's the song. You know what I'm saying?
So back then, was you using a boombox? Back then, that's when they called them boombox, where you had to tape cassette and push record.
Nah, but I messed around with that too. Okay. I like doing that too.
Okay.
That just shows you. But I was on actual PC, but I was just using sound recorder. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even no real software. It was just the stock sound recording software that came with every PC at the time, mm-hmm. and then you just had to get it right. You had to wrap it all the way through, and you have to gauge where to place the mic, because mm-hmm. if you place the mic too close to the speakers, then the beat's louder than the artist. Mm-hmm. Now you have just like a distorted song. But if you place it too far away from the speakers, then all you hear is vocal. You know what I'm saying?
So after the age of 12, was this self-taught, or did you see it on TV or somewhere?
Self-taught. All of this was self-taught. All of this was all birthed out of curiosity mm-hmm. and interest in music. You know what I'm saying?
So you back in Nigeria, you had sports. So you wasn't into sports or anything?
No. I was into sports. I played football. Soccer,
okay.
Not football, not American football.
But soccer.
When I was a kid, when I was a youth. Mm-hmm. But I also did play, American football and basketball as well. I got a couple scholarships for football actually, but they were all partial scholarships. Mm-hmm. I ended up not taking any of them.
So when did this become your thing? Like, when did you realize this was just not a hobby?
I realized it was not just a hobby because there's a point in time when I was in college, right? Mm-hmm. And I had this gig, right? The gig didn't work out. I was at the gig for like a couple weeks, and after a couple weeks it didn't work out. I was back, trying to figure out what to do to earn paper.
So so when you say gig, was a job, right?
Yeah.
Was it here in the U.S. or back home?
No, this was in the U.S. This was in the U.S. This was like early adulthood, because I stopped doing it for a long time when I was a youth, like around like maybe 15, 16, 17. I stopped. You know what I'm saying? I picked it back up around this age, like 18, 19. But anyway, so I had this gig, right? Didn't work out. It was quick too, and I'm trying to figure out what I should do, to make ends meet, whatever. And then people periodically kept tapping in about studio, about music. So I was like, all right, bet. Let's do it. Let's work on music. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I started charging these people for it. And I was able to take care of all my obligations by charging people to work on music or to record and mix, produce, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Any musical service, I was at that service, and I realized, this can actually turn into something. I could really scale this. I could really finesse this. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I decided. Well, that's when I realized, I could make myself into a legend. You know what I'm saying?
So you said you had stopped doing engineering up until you're 18. So when you started back, was this like a walk in the park? Was you like, hey, I'm familiar with this? Was it just like, the light bulb came on? It's like, hey, I know this.
Yeah, I was familiar. I'm not gonna say it was like a walk in the park, because I was trying to take this to another level, and I did. You know what I'm saying? But when I picked it back up, I had to learn all the new software, all the new technology, all the new formats of making music, of recording, all the nuances of what music is, modern music at the time, all the nuances of what that was, and that takes a very studious mind. So you really have to study this. You know what I'm saying?
So take me back to your hometown. What is
Yeah.
different from the American music and the music in your hometown?
The music back home is more, it's more connected to the original people of the land. You know what I'm saying? In Nigeria, Nigeria is the birthplace of Afrobeat.
Okay.
Afrobeats came strictly from Nigeria. I don't want to hear nobody in the I don't want to see nobody in the comments saying otherwise. I know Ghanaian, y'all think y'all doing something. South Africa think they're doing something. Nah, it started in Nigeria. Started in the bushland. Started in Igbo land. I promise you.
So,
But,
not to cut you off, is that
yeah.
Afrobeat where I think they said it was kind of birthed from over in New York or Chicago? The drill music and all that stuff?
Okay.
Is that what it is?
Nah, that's not what it is. Like Afro beats is a convergence of traditional African music, Nigerian music, and jazz, and certain like worldly elemental instruments, all that into one. Shout out to fella Kunta. You know what I'm saying? He's the original. He started Afro beats. He was the one that first started bringing in all this instrumentation and concepts from other forms of music to make Afrobeat what it is today. You know what I'm saying?
So how did college and your music shape the path that you're in now?
It gave me a foundation of understanding music theory and music technology. That's really what it did. So like, I didn't go to YouTube University. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I didn't go to YouTube University with it. Even there's nothing wrong with that. You can learn a lot from YouTube and like videos that are out now. But I had to read and study like the theory of what we're doing, why we're doing it, what's the quote unquote right way, quote unquote wrong way. But really there's no right or wrong. It's like it's hot or it's not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I salute the collegiate teachings because it taught me like the fundamentals and the science of it, but it doesn't teach you how to be a rock star. It doesn't teach you how to really go crazy. It doesn't teach you really how to make real modern and enjoyable music. You got to figure that out on your own.
So what did you go to college for, and where did you go to college at?
I went to UNLV. So I went to UNLV.
Okay.
I went to college for business and accounting and music. You know what I'm saying? All of that. But
So how did you juggle that, all of it, how your schoolwork and then your lifestyle?
it was madness. It was organized chaos. Sometimes disorganized chaos at its purest. But it is what it is. You have a strong mind. The way I was raised, I had no room to complain because I saw my pops make it out of straight village, straight jungle. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I still don't know how he did it, like for real. But you know what I'm saying? That's a story for another time. But I see everybody back home, all the struggle, all the opportunities that I'm afforded that they're not afforded, and I'm like, I can't complain because they would gladly switch places with me. You know what I'm saying? Easily.
So do you ever go back home?
Yeah. I usually go back every year. Yeah, shout out to my people in Imo State. Shout out to everybody in Bisay, my village. Now I'm coming back soon. Yeah. You know the vibes.
So are you close with your parents still now that you're over in the U.S.?
Yeah. I'm kind of close. Coming up in the Nigerian household as a Nigerian young man, the structure between child and parent is more so like between soldier and general. You know what I'm saying? So there's a real and realistic respect. There's a healthy dose of like expectation and rules and requirements that you are expected to fulfill to not let the family down. This is about the family name. This is about like the future and future generations. So and people that you're expected to pull up to prosperity along with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of responsibility, and they instill the understanding of that in us young. So the dynamic is not kind of like, Family Matters and like all those sitcoms from back in the day. It's more so like teacher to student, general to soldier, like dynamic, you know.
So they made sure that you were going to succeed. They gave you the tools to succeed in life, and not basically settle or make excuses for why you're not succeeding in life.
And they didn't have to like per se do that, because I experienced two realities. I experienced the reality that is a Nigerian village, poverty in Nigeria, and then I also experienced what it is to come to a technologically advanced place, and live that reality. And even though like there's still poverty in America, you know, obviously, a lot,
especially here in Vegas.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially here in Vegas, brother. We see it all day, every day.
Yeah, exactly. But I would say like just the pure fact of that I was brought out of that village life, that village poverty, into a different reality is like, okay, I understand where they're coming from. I have to listen because I know what the other side is. Now let's get to the prosperous place, you know.
So how did you land an internship at Floyd Mayweather studio, and what was that like?
So shout out to G Boy and D Boy. It's Hunter right now. Hunter Pitt, what up? So I was in a jam, and while I was in this jam, I met a couple of my partners now. And I was telling them about what I did, this and that. This is the start of it all. I was telling them about what I did, this and that, and they said, "Yo, you know the boxer Floyd Mayweather?" I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "Yo, you know he has a label and he has a studio. You really should pull up over there." You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I was working out of my one bedroom in the trap. It was real trenchy over there. I built a booth with my bare hands. And I was just trying to figure it out.
And that's all here in Vegas?
Yeah, that was in Vegas.
Okay.
But so I decided to go over there because I knew I was missing things. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I was just impatient because I really wanted to be great early on. But you know, it takes time, and it takes, like I said, a very studious mind. It takes a lot of effort to reach new levels. You know. So anyway, but you know, they say don't learn from your own mistakes, learn from other people's mistakes.
Yes.
They say what do they say? A smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. Yeah. So basically, that's what internship is. That's what having a mentor is. So I decided I walked up. Floyd's studio was kind of in the trap. It was off of Charleston and like Eastern or something way over there.
Oh yeah. Anything on the east side is the trap.
east side, and the shot to the east side.
Anything on the east side is the trap. I'm not even gonna lie to you, brother.
Yeah. So I was over there. I went over there on my own recognizance and tried to find a stew, but I couldn't find it because it was just an unmarked building. And I'm like, what is this? Where is this? I don't even know where the door is. But so I was gonna leave, and then like I see cameras everywhere, and I'm like, no way this is a coincidence. No way. Like, no way. Like, unmarked building in the trap, cameras everywhere. It's either the trap house or it's the studio, you know what I'm saying? And it really shouldn't even be a trap house on them cameras everywhere. You know, you giving yourself away. But anyway, so I'm knocking on the door. No one's coming to the door, or what I think was the door. And no one's coming to the door. And I'm like, okay, well, let me try again another time. Shout out to, I go by John. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Tay 2, I see you. But so I'm knocking on the door and no one's coming, so I leave. But I'm like, can't be, bro, can't be. So I turn around. That was a pivotal point in my career, I think, at least one of them, because I could have just left. I could have just said, you know what, this ain't it. Like, I don't believe this. Like, I'm cool, whatever. Took it home, hung it up. But I was like, nah, I came here for a reason. Let's complete the mission. You know what I'm saying? So I went back. Knocked again. They finally came to the door, and it was my boy B, Brandon. R.I.P. to Brandon. He taught me a lot as well, but R.I.P. my boy Brandon. And he, so he's one of the engineers up there at the studio. I introduced myself. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, my name's Kenechi. This is what I got going on. I'm learning. I want to intern for y'all. I'll come and intern for y'all for free. I just want to learn. And they're like, Let me talk it over with my partner. We'll be in touch. Give me your number. So I gave him my number. They called me like a day or two later, like, yo, we want you to intern. Pull back up. And that's how I landed intern, just off the popping up, showing face, and being determined. You know what I'm saying?
Was there any doubt that you wouldn't get a call back? Was you discouraged or anything? Or you was just
yeah. I'm not gonna hold you. At the time, my confidence wasn't that high at the time, especially not like in the music world. You know what I'm saying? You know, poverty and like just being poor, it really can affect your confidence and your livelihood. You know what I'm saying? So I think having a resilient mind is part of like success.
Okay.
You have to have the mind to overcome your circumstances at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was gonna get a call back or anything, but you know, I guess I was one of the few that came up there determined, and they decided to give that kid a shot, you know.
So what was the biggest lesson you learned in that studio environment?
What's the biggest lesson? The biggest lesson that I learned there is, number one, probably make the most of what you have. There's always a way to make it work with what you have. You just have to be resourceful enough. And I would also say that, like, there's no real rules to this. There's no real rules to this. Anything can go down. You can win at any time in any way, and you can lose at any time in any way. But you just have to understand how to roll with the punches and like turn an L into a W, for sure.
So, what did Chris teach you that changed your approach?
You said Chris?
I mean Corey.
Corey. Oh
Harris.
yeah, okay, Corey. Yeah,
Harris.
Yeah. That's my big dog. Yeah, Corey Harris. That's the big homie. One thing I say, what he taught me that there's opportunity everywhere. You just have to identify it first and foremost. You got to be the go-getter. You have to be the one to put the play together. Otherwise, you just sitting there waiting for a job. You know what I'm saying?
So how did you and then Corey meet?
So Corey ran. It was Filthy Rich Records. That's Floyd Mayweather's studio. Okay. Filthy Rich Records, and he ran Filthy Rich Records for years. He controlled that whole operation for years. Anytime 50 popped up to record at Floyd's studio, Cole put that together. If Dr. Dre came through on the imprint of Floyd, Cole put that together. You know what I'm saying? All the artists that Floyd signed over the years, Cole had the hand in the executive production and the recording or whatever of all those projects. So he was actually the one who really gave me the internship for real, because he controlled that whole situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's really how I met him.
Are you guys still close to this day?
Yeah, that's my dog. We still fans to this day. You know what I'm saying? We done ran up racks together. You know, we done did all type of shit. We just went to Miami less than a year ago. Went crazy. We was it had me eating fried lobster at Tootsie's. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tootsie.
I'm assuming Tootsie is a gentleman's club, right?
Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the chat real quick.
I'm gonna have to look that up myself. What type of food they serve there, brother?
Oh yeah.
Was you going just for the food, or
I went straight
for
entertainment? They serve all type. They serve all type of flavors. You know what I'm saying? Mexican, Russian, Puerto Rican.
I'm gonna have to check. And what's it called again?
Tootsie's.
Let me put that in my notes over here, brother.
I was up there for the fried lobster. What?
So you guys are real close.
Yeah.
To this day.
Most definitely to this day. Yeah. Because I'm big on loyalty. I'm big on, the people. You got to respect whoever gave you your first shot, or gave you a shot, or just helped you build along your journey. So I'm very loyal. I respect loyalty in that sense. If somebody helped me, I have a natural inclination to help them as well. Because I'm not gonna say it would have been impossible, but they had a hand in the journey and where I am today, and I can only respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Because not that you just believe in you, but they see something in you as well.
Exactly.
So that's what made him go and put the word in for you to start your journey on to becoming a great producer.
For sure.
So for people who do not know, what does your full process look like on recording?
Ooh, it's pretty streamlined these days because I've had so much experience, you know. But it's a vibe. It's a movie. You know what I'm saying. When somebody pulls up to work with Big Niche, when somebody pulls up to work with me, they have a certain expectation because of my brand, and I want to uphold that and make that an accurate representation of my brand. So they'll pull up. You pull up to the studio, you might see 1, 2 foreigns outside. You know what I'm saying? Probably both mine. I don't know. But so that already piques interest. That's like, okay, this is actually the lifestyle. I'm coming to this place to create magic and to put myself into this lifestyle that I'm going to create for myself through the music and everything that comes with the music. That's the viewpoint from an artist standpoint. So pulling up and seeing something that's validation, you already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? And then they come inside into a state of the art facility. Might be at the biggest studio in Vegas. Might be at my home, my personal laboratory. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of where I am, we're leaving that studio with something that's industry quality, industry droppable today, radio ready. You know what I'm saying?
So how many hours you put in a day to make a hit?
Oh man, there's no telling how many hours to put in to make a hit specifically. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna determine what's a hit. Not even the artist is gonna know it's a hit. You know what I'm saying? No one knows it's a hit until the people tell you that it's a hit. You get the validation from the people, from the audience, from the people who you making music for. Then you'll determine that it's a hit. But the process can vary from a couple hours to days. It just depends. There's no timestamp on it. It's just whatever the universe provides. You know.
So what was it like working with major artists like Usher, Gucci Mane, and Young Thug?
It's definitely an elevated experience, just because of like the teamwork and the ambiance that is provided because they are who they are. For instance, like when I was working with Usher, they had a masseuse in the live room giving massages because they needed to be comfortable while making that hit. We went #1 that day too. We went #1 during those sessions. But
what was the name of that song that went #1?
That song's called Glue. Usher, Glue.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, super banger. Yeah,
for sure.
It went #1 on Billboard, adult R&B play. What up to everybody in the chat? But yeah, so that's one way of working, and then another way of working is like, so when I was working with Thug and YSL, shout out to my boy Strick, shout out to T Shine, shout out to Vito, shout out to all my YSL brothers, shout out to Slime. But it's a whole nother situation when you're riding with the Slimes. So there's usually like an entourage a lot of times of like 30 plus people. Last time I was in the studio with Slime, it was like 30 people, you know what I'm saying? But
so
that's more. What you gonna say?
When you record them, they hear, or you in the A with them, or do they come? Or you?
It
gotta
depends.
Get up somewhere?
It just depends. But every time I work with YSL, I've either been in Vegas or I've been in Cali, in LA.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't worked with them in the A.
Okay.
But yeah, they move. That's just like a rock star. There's a rock star movement right there. You know what I'm saying? There's 30 people. Half of them are vibes. Half of the half all there for Slime. You know what I'm saying?
So how do you work under that pressure? Is that a pressure knowing that you working with these big artists like that?
I used to feel the pressure because that's what basically almost every engineer or producer wants to aspire to, working on projects like these or working with this caliber of artists. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, coming into it, if you don't have a lot of experience, you know, you got a lot riding on it because you want to make a good impression and you want to be invited back, or you want like the reputation of your good work with amongst that circle to be spread. And it can be you know, nerve-wracking at times, but it's all in preparation. What did they say? If you fail to prepare, if you prepare to, what is it? If you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
So, what was a moment in your career where you really stood out?
When I really stood out, I would have to say, well, honestly, it was just the validation of continuing to get booked by people who are working at the level that you are aspiring to reach. That tells you that you stood out. But I've heard people say, one of the biggest compliments I ever got was that you got that Kanye effect, in which like people were hearing records that I would work on from people that they weren't very keen on their music at all. But once I touched the music, it was a banger. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the biggest compliments I got that allowed me to know, okay, I'm standing out with this. Also, I would do things musically within the music that I would hear 4, 5, 6 years down the line, and I'm like, oh, I already did that. That we did that and got off that already. You know what I'm saying? That just tells me that we were ahead of the game.
So, what was the season that been overworked and underpaid after college?
Oh man, that was like tunnel vision. That was like you're traveling in the long tunnel. You know what I'm saying? And you just don't know if you're gonna make it out. It was a lot of late nights for sure. A lot of late nights. It's a lot of doubt. Am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right field? Am I making the right moves? But it's like, and coincidentally, well, ironically, I would say that sometimes I would just keep going out of desperation because this is all I had. I didn't have the confidence to be like, you know what, I'm hanging this up and I'm going to the stock market, or I'm hanging this up and I'm gonna start a whole nother business, or I'm hanging this up and like let's see what the trap do. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I look at that and wonder like, yo, did that lack of bravado help me stay down long enough to see success? And I think about that sometimes, and maybe it did. That's not really like very motivating, but it's real life. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of turning L's into W's. You know what I'm saying? You're just somebody that's just here doing something that you hope would work out, and you don't even think that you're talented enough to do anything else or do that at the level. But because of that, you just say, fuck it, I'm gonna just keep going. Fuck it, fuck what happens, whatever.
So, do you think the part of your childhood was the reason that made you keep going because your parents didn't allow you to stop? That really pushed you, prepared you for like nights like this where you like, damn, I don't know if I want to continue to keep going, or I'm not getting there fast enough.
Yeah. I mean, if you depending on the circumstance, a quitter can be a loser, and like we weren't in the business of losing. I couldn't afford to lose. The family couldn't afford to lose. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even just the family in the States. That's all the family back home. They count on us. So it's like whatever we do, you have to make sure you're successful, or else you're just perpetuating another cycle of poverty, and you just let your people down.
And so at that moment, were you afraid of letting your people down? Like, damn, I know if I give up, then I got a lot of people back home. Not even just me, I'm letting down.
The last thing I wanted to do was let my people down. That's the very last thing. You know what I'm saying? I was in a mindset to forego my own dreams to make sure my people are prosperous. And that's just how I got down.
And that says a lot, man.
Yeah.
That shows that you're selfless. You put others before you. And there's nothing wrong with that. So on your journey, was there a mentor to helping you when you in your engineering?
I read a lot. So a lot of my mentorship came from reading. A lot of my mentorship came from research, but definitely Corey. He gave me a lot of game coming up as well. You know what I'm saying? But really, those were the only mentors that I can attribute to. Now that I think about it.
So when did you realize you had to pivot and bet on yourself?
When I realized that so I was always in a supportive role, you know, and when I was more dedicated, when I noticed that I was more dedicated than a lot of people that I was working for or with, it planted a seed in the back of my mind to wonder, like, am I really the one, instead of me supporting someone else or another company or vision, thinking that they're the one. In reality, whole time I was the one. You know what I'm saying? When things kept on not working out, and it had no fault of my own, and sometimes went against my own recommendations, I noticed, like, well, if things would have went the way that I proposed, we could have avoided a lot of this. You know what I'm saying? We probably would have won. And that's when that continued to happen, I realized, all right. I think I'm the one. I got to bet on myself. This. I'm the only one living this life. You know what I'm saying? Got to turn up.
So you put all the chips on the table and just bet on yourself and walk away. So at that moment where you said you was working for someone. Was working with a team, or were you?
Well, no, just working for different studios, working for, like, you know, working with other people, artists and whoever, you know, that I was building their dreams instead of my own.
So how did that push you forward?
Man, it just made me realize that, like, everything is your fault. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep blaming things not working out on other people, because you are complacent in that situation as well. So it's upon you to step up to the plate and coordinate this, because you're going to reap the results regardless. So regardless of if you let somebody else take the reins and they lose, you lost too. Or
so damn you do, damn you don't, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right, because damn you do, damn you don't. So what does "do not sleep on your dreams" mean to you in real life?
In real life, it's the slogan that I wish I would have told myself back in the day. Don't sleep on your dreams. You know what I'm saying? It means, in real life, it means that, like, people get too complacent and go into autopilot within everyday life, and they do that to the detriment of their dreams and the could have been success. So don't sleep on your dreams means don't sleep on all your abilities. Don't sleep on your talent. Don't forego your talent out of comfortability or out of, like, insecurity. You really got to step up and be the person that you were meant to be. That's what don't sleep on your dreams means.
So don't sell yourself short.
Exactly, for sure.
How do you stand your ground when things get stressful, or you just, like, it ain't going the way I want it to go?
The way I was raised, that's not even a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's not even a thing. Like, like when it gets tough or when it gets stressful, I tell myself, well, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be there. You know what I'm saying? You have to do things that others are not willing to do in order to make it. You have to put in those long hours. You have to put up with difficult situations. You know what I'm saying? You have to, like, make all the proper moves if you seriously see yourself becoming something that you want to be. There's no way around that. There's no getting around that.
If you could talk to your younger self, what would you say?
Damn. I would say you are the one. You really are the one. I would say go harder. I would say go bigger even. You know what I'm saying? I would say leave no stone unturned. go for everything because you probably will get it. Whole time, didn't even know I could, but I did.
Or give me the five. Just give me the five that you can mix them together. Songs you people know you did and you didn't.
So obviously, I worked on that Usher's Glue record.
Okay.
For sure.
That was a banger.
Yeah, that was a banger. I worked on
That went platinum, didn't it?
Billboard for sure.
Yeah, Billboard.
For sure, it went #1. It went. What else have I worked on? I worked on.
I saw you put out that you work with Rob Way.
Oh yeah. So I did a record. It's called Last Lap.
Okay.
But it was on the project. It's called Last Lap 2. But I think it was track number 2, Last Lap. So yeah, I did that.
You work with 6 Black, right?
Oh yeah, Black. Yeah, Black. Out of Atlanta, they call him 6 Black, whatever. Yeah. I think his name is Black. So we did
Black?
I work with. We did a record called. What's that record called? It's like I can't remember the name of the record.
Okay, so
it's
that's
like
4.
Come Through or
you
something like that. But that's with Black. And then I did First Time in Vegas, R.I.P. Big Scar, shout out to 1017, shout out Gucci.
Okay.
We went Billboard with that as well. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So,
Afro Johnny, I see you.
If
what up?
where can people reach you if they want to work with you?
Oh, for sure. I'm taking not all projects, but like I'm taking a lot of projects. Yeah, most definitely.
So where can they reach you at?
Y'all can reach me on IG at Kenechi Noir. That's NECHI NOIR on IG. You can hit my website as NechiSound.com, NECHI Sound.com, or if you see me outside, pull up on me. Just don't pull up too crazy because you never know. You know what I'm saying? But you can pull up on me and we chop it up. On my way here, somebody stopped me in traffic. You know what I'm saying? Trying to work because they recognize the whip. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So what do you have working on at this moment?
Right now I'm working on a couple records with Watty B Fat. Shout out to Fat. I was just with him. They were just in Vegas not too long ago. And shout out to Hefe for putting that play together. You know what I'm saying? That's not my first time working with Fat though.
Okay.
But yeah, I just FaceTimed him the other day when I was in the studio with Filthy. Shout out Filthy Rich. But I'm working on. So we got some joints coming. I was just locked in with.
So within your music, in this being an engineer, what legacy do you want to leave behind?
Yeah. Shout out to Savon. The legacy, man. I've been juggling with the idea of legacy because on one end it's like, all right, everybody wants to leave a legacy. Everyone wants to be remembered, But I've been doing a lot of research lately, a lot of Eastern culture, philosophy, and even something Mike Tyson said. He was like questioning the idea of legacy as well before he fought what's his name to get all that bread back. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Oh, what is legacy? When you're dead, you're dead." I watched this interview about somebody that wholeheartedly believes in karma and the karmic culture, and he was basically saying that like he full-fledged believes in karma, and he wants like his karma to be in the afterlife. He wants all of his karma to be in the afterlife, and the thought process, if you actually understand what karma is basically like he doesn't want anyone to remember anything that he's done for them in this life because he wants all the good to be in the next life for himself. And that really kind of like shifted the way I thought about legacy. But the legacy that I want to be remembered by is, Midas. Not Midas's legacy, but the concept of Midas. Everything that you touch turns to gold. And crazy part is Strick, my WhatsApp brother. He used to call me Midas back in the day when we started out. He used to say, "Yo, you got the Midas touch type." You know what I'm saying? When we would work. So shout out to Strick. That's crazy. But yeah, I want my legacy to be just everyone not recognizing, but having memories of me helping them. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done, that's it. That's the whole legacy.
Well, brother, I just want to say thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, most
It was a
definitely.
pleasure to talking to you.
Yeah,
And bless. I wish you the best on your future projects and,
most definitely.
many, many more blessings to you, brother.
Gratitude. I appreciate that. Yeah, happy to be here. I'm glad y'all invited me over. We got to do this again sometime.
Oh, for sure, brother. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.